Hi everyone, this tutorial today is just how to do a basic manicure with products that you may have at home. And as you can see, my nails are in desperate need of a manicure. I've been giving them a bit of a break in between using my Sistaco nail product. And this is what you would need. So you would need a bowl of warm water, some hand sanitizer, files, and some cuticle remover. So then you want to start off with, if you have any length on the nails that you want to trim, you know, you might have some uneven nails, some long, some short, so you might want to make them all the same length. So first of all, you would trim them up. I don't need to do that in this video because obviously my nails are quite short, and I'm about to do another video after this on how to add length, so I'm just doing a basic prep for that as well. So just with a normal emery board, just go ahead and shape the nails, just give them a bit of a tidy up. And when you're filing them, just be careful to not run the file backwards and forwards too vigorously. Just, it's easier, or it's better rather, if you just kind of go from side to side. It just helps prevent the nails from splitting, which you don't want to do. Now it does look like I'm going backwards and forwards over the nail, but I'm actually only really putting very light pressure when I'm going in one direction, and then when I'm pulling back the other way, I kind of lift the pressure off. So just be mindful of that when you're shaping your nails if you want to prevent the splitting. So now I'm just going to pop on some cuticle remover. This is one that I just picked up from eBay, but you can get them from any real store that sells nail type products. Chemist, I think Kmart will have this as well. So just put a little dollop of the cuticle remover onto the cuticle area. And then just going to gently rub it in a little bit. And this is just to soften up that dead skin around the cuticle there, so that we can remove it after it's been soaked in some warm water. Okay, now I'm going to soak them in some warm water for about 5 minutes. Okay, 5 minutes has gone by, so I'm going to take them out and I'm going to dry them off a little bit. And now I'm going to grab my metal cuticle pusher, and I am just gently going to push back the skin, the edge of the nail there, and drag off some of that dead cuticle that is stuck to the nail. That's what the cream does. It helps soften that up so that you can use one of these tools and just drag it off the nail and scrape it off the nail very gently. You can use one of those wooden orange sticks as well, which is, if you're not really confident using a metal pusher, or you don't have one, you can use those, and maybe just use a little bit of cotton wool on the end of it to push back the cuticle. So it's not called the cuticle, it's actually called the eponychium. The cuticle is the actual dead skin that you want to remove off the nail. But we all seem to call it cuticle when we say push back the cuticle, so forgive me if I got that wrong. So as you can see there, I'm just dragging the dead skin cuticle off the nail bed and just wiping it as I go. Some of you might not have much of it at all if you are continuously doing your nails and sort of keeping them maintained, and yet some people might have quite a lot of cuticle to remove because it might be the first time. that you're really sort of paying attention to your nails, and you might really need to remove a fair bit of it. And it is good to do this because it really does help get more longevity out of your Sistaco application or polish or whatever it is you're using, because the cuticle can sort of help the product to lift. So if you can remove it, it's way better. And the more you do this in between your applications, the easier it gets, the less you have to remove. Okay, the next step is going to be just to remove the shine off the nail. So I'm just going to use my 4-way buffer here, and I'm going to use the fine grit side. And I'm just going to lightly go over the surface of the nail. I am just going very gently, it's not rough at all, and just removing that shine. If you were going to just do a manicure on its own and you weren't prepping them for an application of Sistaco, or you were just using regular polish, you wouldn't need to do this step. You can still do it if you want to buff them with all the other sides of that buffer to give them that polished look, but just typically just a manicure on its own without prepping them for anything else, you could skip this step altogether. Now I'm just grabbing a lint-free wipe, and I am just wiping the excess powder and dust off my nails. And that hand is done. So now I'm going to go ahead and do the other hand, and I'll be right back. So there you go. I have now completed 2 hands, doing exactly the same thing to the other hand. And my hands are now prepped and ready to go for my Sistaco application, or in this case I am actually going to be adding some nail tips in another video. So if you want to learn how to do that, check out my other video. Other than that, right now you could be adding either some polish, just regular polish, or you might want to finish it off with some cuticle oil. And you can use any type of cuticle oil. You can buy cuticle oil, or you could use coconut oil or olive oil, whatever you like, but just to put some nourishment back into your hands. And why not just give them a nice massage while you're at it. And if you did this in between each of your Sistaco applications, your nails will grow lovely and your application should last a lot longer.